Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about, in this video, be aware that it's not for Disney fans or fans of Disney Star Wars. So I'm just letting you know that this video may not be favorable for them. And it primarily involves the Acolyte. But past this warning, let's begin. The Acolyte will not be renewed for a second season. It was announced that Disney will not be renewing The Acolyte for a second season, but yet again, The Acolyte itself, I only watched the first 2 episodes of it, but again, The Acolyte itself was made by Leslie Headland. Leslie Headland, much like the rest of Lucasfilm, is run by feminists, by woke, far-left feminists. Even Dave Filoni. I loved this. I loved the Star Wars: The Clone Wars TV series when it came out. I'm a fan of it, and my kids love it. But at the same time, my wife pointed this out also, and exposed his wife on X or Twitter or whatever you call it now. She made a post talking about the person that Dave Filoni is married to, and then of course the fact that Dave Filoni signed on to the Acolyte and gave support for the Acolyte. But the Acolyte itself spat in the face of Star Wars, the lore of Star Wars. It also completely retconned the story of the Sith in general. Effectively, it was a bastardization of the Star Wars franchise. Again, and Kathleen Kennedy is a feminist, first and foremost. She's a feminist. She is a feminist. She hires feminists. You take a look, and this is another thing that my wife pointed out also, and that is the fact that Kathleen Kennedy had fired Gina Carano. Gina Carano is a strong woman. She's a strong woman, although she has different beliefs, and she is, in fact, conservative, or leans conservative. And that did not bode well for Kathleen Kennedy. As of right now, Gina Carano is in the process of a legal battle against Disney for unrightfully terminating her career from Lucasfilm. But yet again, modern day Hollywood, this is the end of the era for Hollywood and for Disney. Disney itself has gone from a great company to a great failure. From pushing woke ideology in their films and in their movies, to having even showrunners and even people saying, like for example Latoya, who was the designer behind the Proud family, Louder and Prouder, even more, Louder and Prouder, who said that Disney was welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda, shows Disney's agenda against conservative values and against parental rights. They went to war in the state of Florida for the rights to bring LGBT agendas into the public school. Thanks to Ron DeSantis successfully managed to bar these activists from getting near these children. They're pushing pornographic books as well as Satanism and paganism. Again, this is a field that my wife has been more adept into exposing as well on Twitter. She exposed Dave Filoni's wife for being involved not only with feminist and woke ideology, but also with paganism. But at the same time, I did not watch the rest of the Acolyte series. I only watched the first 2 episodes, although my wife has of course had the displeasure of watching all 8 of those horrible episodes. And she said that she would not do that for $1,000. Because it's complete and total rubbish. It's rubbish. It's garbage to storytelling. But even more, I will also say this, that the Acolyte itself, really, they tout it around as a success, and yet here we have it being cancelled because it lost Disney money. Lucasfilm once used to be a powerhouse for Disney. Now it's a shell of its former self. But again, people have voted with their wallets. They're no longer supporting Disney. Also, this is a shout out to the Knights of Melvin, who have been supportive, who primarily were on the pulse of Disney Star Wars and actually did a very good job in exposing the Disney shills and the people who support Disney, the woke agenda that's behind Disney. They have a whole section of talking about these shills. These Disney shills, for example, Star Wars Explained, is a Disney shill. He is bought and paid for by Disney. He was flown out to meet up with Dave Filoni and Lucasfilm. And yet here we have other Star Wars creators which are not necessarily Disney shills because they're not paid to be Disney shills. And that, of course, is, once again, Star Wars theory. And even more, Disney shills, the one thing that you notice about them is that they always hype Disney. They always hype the Disney agenda. They always hype the Disney shows. Another good example of these Disney shills is Finding the Force. My kids, they love lightsabers just like me as a child, but at the same time, one of the channels that they frequent is Finding the Force. Finding the Force, again, is a Disney shill. They show for Disney. This is most evident because they got one of the new box sets from Lucasfilm for absolute, if I remember correctly, for free. And it's not even released yet. More evidence that it's a Disney shill. And they haven't said a word of criticism to Disney. Even though when looking at the Disney products, especially the Disney Legacy lightsabers and the Disney merchandise that was for Star Wars, it's crap. It's rubbish. The Disney Legacy lightsabers are complete and total rubbish. They disintegrate. They break easily. You could buy a reasonable lightsaber from a site like Saberforge or Ultra Sabers, and they could take a beating. But the Disney Legacy sabers, they're complete and total crap. And that goes for a lot of other things, such as the holocrons. My son got the holocron for his birthday, and it broke within a month. He could no longer get the crystals to work inside of it. And because of that, we had to throw it out. I tried fixing it, but at the same time I was unable to fix it. But yet again, Disney is on the way out. And that's the sad thing about it. But again, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys later.